Hello everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. Merry Christmas to all of my viewers out there. It's been a great week. You know, we always say that, but you know, we're just in that frame of mode of just being completely positive. You know, I was talking to my boy Peter. We actually helped him move the other day. Shout out to my boy Peter. But, you know, we were just talking about how, you know, our different friends that we have and the people that are close to us that can inspire us. And just, you know, being able to help Peter and help him move from the U-Haul truck to being in his first ever home. You know, shout out to Peter for being a first-time homeowner. But, you know, when you have friends like that are doing great things and then show you appreciation, I mean, I think I had so much fun helping him move and then just eating pizza with him and, you know, just seeing the smile on his face. You know, it just felt good to be a friend and help a friend move forward and, you know, move on to the next stage of their life, man. And, you know, like I said, you know, it's very inspiring as well, too, because then, you know, you can look at your friends and see what they're doing and, you know, seeing that they're empowering and trying to progress themselves through. And it's that same type of dedication and hard work that you can then help to translate into your own life, man. And, you know, we always joke and say about positive Peter, but, you know, when you have people that, you know, embrace that positive mentality, you know, it just makes going through the week so much easier and so much fun. And I feel like also, you know, earlier on in the week, you know, we kind of embraced that as well, too, with, you know, there was a situation where I had with my brother, and we were in a doubles game, and I wound up, you know, bowling my worst ever game of the season. I think I bowled like a 144. And I look back as far as, you know, last year and the progress that I've done. And, you know, beforehand, if I would have rolled a 144, I don't know if I'm going to even be able to have a good set anymore, right? So, you know, I think that, you know, to be able to come from that, and then I was still able to dig out like a 248 game after that, and then a 220 something to bowl a 600 series. And that meant so much to me because, you know, all season, my brother, me and him, we've been fighting the best, you know, teams and people that are going up against their best. And we've put our best foot forward, but we haven't exactly gotten the results that we wanted. And a lot of times when you continuously try to push forward and you're not getting the results that you want, it's easy to quit. It's easy to say, fuck this. It's easy to say, you know what, I'm done. I'm frustrated. But, you know, to reference back to that first game where I had that 144, you know, I dug deep within myself and you know, I just didn't accept failure as an option, you know. And, you know, to be able to come from that, to get a win, to now celebrate with my brother on Christmas that we're in the top 10 for the first time in 2020, you know, it makes me very, very happy, man. And, you know, that's a testament to the hard work, the dedication that he's been putting in, and dedication that I've been putting in as well, too, to get better. And, you know, I just felt like, you know, before we came on the show today, that it was very important to show people that no matter how you start, you know, no matter how shitty your first game is, whether you're golfing, bowling, playing basketball, high school sports, virtual sports, whatever, you know, if you're struggling, don't worry about it. Just think to the next thing. We always say in bowling, take it frame by frame, because at the end of the day, you don't know what you're capable of until you put your best foot forward, man. And, you know, I'm just happy to have people around me that propel me and push me forward to give the best version of myself every single day. So thank you so much, man, to my brother, to my boy Peter Dunn for inspiring with, you know, just his own personal advancement. And, you know, to be able to be here and share this Merry Christmas with my family, you know, I think it was very important for me because, you know, I think that a lot of different people, you know, take the holidays as a chance to take a time off, you know, or to get that relaxation. That's very necessary for a lot of us. But for me, I thought it was very important for here on Christmas, of all days where there was any reason for me to take a break and to not do this episode, I thought it was very imperative to say, yo, we're not taking any days off, and we're coming with the heat for y'all. Every single one of you on Facebook Live, whether you're Antoine Jefferson, Stephen Baum, whether you're my boy Peter on Instagram live stream, or my boy Jose's father, you know, I just got to tell you, man, we are here. We're going to be here every Friday, 8:30. You know the vibes. I'm just happy to be here, man, and we got a great episode lined up for you. So before I get into the special surprise that I have for you all, I got to thank my sponsors. Shout out to VW Liquors, located in Wick Plaza, Edison, New Jersey. Want to give a big shout out to Air We Are. Got the best air conditioning and heating and cooling needs that you need. My boy Angelo at 13 and a Half Clothing Company, making sure that people got the freshest threads in the South Side, baby. Also want to give a shout out to my boy Savion Gaynor over at Skydive Socks. My dad put in a massive order and gave us a whole bunch of different socks for Christmas, so I was definitely hyped, and I'll be rocking some of my Skydive socks soon and shortly. Also want to give a shout out to my boy Timmy Hugel over at Ink Parlor. I definitely love this dude, man. He's been helping me to push things forward with the brand. We got the OG9s coming out next week for New Year's. It's a big week for us next week with the Talk That Talk show with the merch. So you're gonna definitely want to stay tuned to some of our social media channels, whether on Instagram, Facebook. We're gonna definitely be giving you the updates and showing you how you can order your own shirt, because these long sleeves are gonna be tough. I'm telling you. Then we want to give a big shout out to Maria and Joe Snow over at New York Life, helping people to get their financial freedom every single day. They'll help you to put you on a financial path to the freedom that you're looking to have. Like I said, man, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for these sponsors. And it's just, like I said, each time I go through them, I almost feel just so full. Because like I have my people like Cody Bromley at 91s.com, each and every different avenue, I have people that really support this vision and really believe in me. We got people like my boy Brian Spahn, who's just so happy to post pictures with his wife in his shirts. So, whether it's your sponsor, whether you're a viewer, whether you're just somebody that's just tuning into the show, man, I'm here for you. I thank you so much for tuning in, and we got something really dope lined up for you. If you don't know me, I guarantee you're going to know who I am at the end of this episode, because, they talk about your best friends, and you talk about people that are an extension of yourself. People that, represent you, align with your core values. People that have been through many experiences, through thick and thin. And I have no other person that's been with me through the ups, the downs, the trials, the tribulations than this guy right here. And, he, like I said, I look to him like a brother. He's like family here. He is family. So, I didn't tell anybody who was going to be the guest on the show. But for a lot of people that have been watching the show, they've been asking for this guy for a long time. So please, if you know this guy, if you love this show, please give a big warm welcome. Put your drinks, put your beers up for my brother, my best friend, my ace in the hole. Please give it up for my boy, Geoffrey Ferrell. Come on up, come on up. Yeah, look who it is. Look who it is.
I love that.
Dude, it's been a long time coming, Geoff. How's it feel to be here on the show, bro?
Oh, it feels great, B. You got a good thing going, bro. So, it feels good to be a part of it.
Oh, man, and it's been a long time coming, man. Like I said, we've been trying to, put things together to put this in motion to have you on, but, we thought it was no better fitting time than to come on Christmas Day, family time, than to have, the biggest family here on the show, bro. So, pretty much, Geoff, how did you spend your Christmas today? And, are there any traditions that you do on Christmas?
Usually what I do with my family, with my grandfather, we usually do something on Christmas Eve. So I went there yesterday, and then on Christmas Day, I go to my grandma's and spend time with my mom. So I just came from there and I stopped here, went to the Holmes' house. So, I got to show love to them too.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, we think of you as like family, man, because you've been here, like I said, since I was the glasses, braces Barry, man. So
DJ Truth Barry.
Oh, man, I pulled out the mixtape not too long ago, which was funny. But, like I said, we've had some really good times, man. And, I think one of the greatest things that we share is a great passion for NBA basketball. Now, I'm a big Knicks fan. He's a big Nets fan, but we continue to try and support each other with our New York teams. And, it might be a little bit funny banter with him holding the crown for right now. So, as a Brooklyn Nets fan, Geoff, how does it feel to be to be a Nets fan right now, man?
Honestly, man, I feel ecstatic. I haven't felt this way in a very long time. And I think back to those days in the Continental Airlines Arena when RJ and Kidd were there. And honestly, I try to compare that feeling, and it doesn't feel the same. Like, this is something new. Like this is something special. Like I feel like the Nets are gonna go to a level they've never been before.
Yeah. And, a lot of times people say that the Nets are the little brother to the Knicks. But what we've seen over the past couple years is that the Nets have been winning these matchups. And you're starting to see a lot more Nets, apparel out there and a lot more Nets fans. So have you seen that there's been like an increase in the Nets fans over the years?
Yeah, I think when they left New Jersey, things were just so bad. When they were in Newark, it was just like, I mean, at that point, they were selling tickets for $1. Like,
I think their main attraction was Marshawn Brooks at the time, right?
So,
that's bad.
So once they moved to Brooklyn and they changed the color scheme, and it just became like fashionable for people, and especially in like music culture with rap, a lot of the rappers are wearing Brooklyn apparel.
Yeah.
If you pay attention, like especially the New York rappers, they're wearing Brooklyn apparel. So I feel like it kind of came with this cool vibe, like a lot of people are rocking it. They might not be a fan, but they just like the colors kind of like thing.
Yeah, and I think that what we've seen, like you said, that the Knicks, have kind of been lacking that cool factor, right? It doesn't seem cool these days to be a Knicks fan. But like you said, especially now getting Kevin Durant and getting a Kyrie Irving, it seems almost more cool than ever to Brooklyn Nets stuff and to be a Nets fan.
Yeah.
So since we've seen that the Nets, 2-0, they beat both opponents by 20 points. Do you see that the Nets are serious contenders here, or is this just, kind of just those first things of beginner's luck with this team?
Well, the way I feel is obviously there's gonna be hard times. They're gonna, they're gonna lose a couple games here and there. They're gonna be long stretches where they might go without a win. But honestly, I think we're good. I just spoke to my brother and he said y'all are gonna run through the East, and I think he's right about that. Like, there's not many teams in the East that can contend with us. Like, our team is deep, and even my brother said like. There was like only one mismatch tonight, and that was Joe Harris against Marcus Smart. Mm-hmm. But besides that, every other, part of the Nets offense was a mismatch for the Celtics. So it's like, how are you going to stop them? It's like, are you going to double team Durant? Are you going to double team Kyrie? Because now they could just kick it to the shooters.
Yeah, and they have shooters now.
They have a lot of shooters. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be tough to defend the Nets this year. It's like coaches are going to have to be on their A game and their game planning. And execution is number one.
Especially coming out of, like you said, a weak East where, your main competitor potentially is the Boston Celtics, and they pretty much handily beat them without Kemba Walker. I know Toronto's another team that a lot of people want to throw in the mix as a potential team, but one team that we could definitely say that probably won't be a contender is my New York Knicks, man. It's tough, man. But what we have seen here, Geoff, is that the Knicks have gotten considerably younger, right? Now, the thing that I want to ask you is we saw that with the Nets, when they were coming up, especially moving past that big trade for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, they got young really quick. Mm-hmm. So how important is it for a team that's rebuilding to get young, in your opinion?
Honestly, I think it's a combination of both. I think you need to get young, but you also need to surround them with the right pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Especially veteran leadership. You need those kind of glue guys to kind of push them in the right way, because if not, you just got a whole bunch of young guys around a whole bunch of young guys. So what do you think's going to happen? Mm-hmm. It's not going to end up good.
And what we have seen, especially from these Knicks, especially what I saw in the first game was, with young teams, they're going to come out to real hot starts. You look at the Knicks, and they were up by, I think, like 6 or 7 at the end of halftime. But when it comes down to the grind time, those third quarter, fourth quarter events, what we saw is the young team expose themselves, but in a way that through turnovers and through poor shot selection. And those kind of seem to be the growing pains that we're going to have to look to for these Knicks in this upcoming season. But I guess from your standpoint, from what you saw from the Knicks, Do you feel like the young pieces there can be part of this rebuild, or do you think that the Knicks are just, in a mountain heap of trouble right now?
It depends because honestly, I was reading like Thibodeau. There's a couple players on the team like Neil Keenan, for example. What's the other guy?
Dennis Smith Jr.?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the doghouse right now. Pretty much Tom Thibodeau is doing anything possible not to play them right now.
Yeah.
So to me, that kind of is a problem. Like, you have players on your team that you can't play, like not even 5 minutes, like, and be contributing to the team. Like, like I understand like getting young players, but I just feel like the Knicks got to draft better. They got to draft better players for their fit, not best player available.
And one of the things that I do feel like with the Knicks, and I think that's going to be a good fit for them, is I think that Obi Toppin, showed some good upsides. But what we saw in the first game, and what I think can be representative of this Knicks team, is that when you have young guys, I think a lot of times it's hard for them to understand their roles off the rip. Or it's hard for them to get those first couple games to understand, I need to do this consistently. Or this is what this team is asking from me. And what we saw from Obi Toppin is, he shoots 1 for 7 or something, or he's trying too hard to go out there and do too much, right? So, what do you think is, the biggest difficulty for young players in trying to stop from doing too much, you think, Geoff?
I feel like you got to just, like, find your game. Like, honestly, like, don't step outside of your game or what works for you. Like, sometimes, like, I understand you want to try to work on things that you're not good at, but at the same time, you got to implement them at, like, not a high volume. Like, Obi, like, all right, Obi, you can't really shoot threes good, but that doesn't mean come out there and just start chucking. Like, he was chucking the other night. And if your shot's not falling, take the ball to the cup.
Yeah.
Do something to get yourself into rhythm. Because if not, you're just going to be out there shooting a whole bunch of shots, bricking. And what's going to happen? Your playing time's going to go down.
Facts.
And with a coach like Thibodeau, you have a short leash. Those young players, we saw it in Minnesota. That's why Minnesota, he was gone.
Yep.
Because Karl Anthony Towns and the Wiggins, they didn't like that. He was
very harsh,
giving them a short leash.
But especially with a struggling team like us, that's trying to build a winning culture. I think what better person than to have Tom Thibodeau to try and help these guys get better. And one of the things that we have seen, and what you did say, which is important, is a lot of these teams need to have veteran leadership. And what I saw from the first game is that you're looking at these guys and saying, okay, there's a bunch of guys on this Knicks team that have not played together. Who is going to step up and be that person, that leader? And it kind of looked, if you didn't see it to me, it looked like R.J. Barrett, as a second-year player, was looking like a leader out there.
Yeah.
So how does that look for our team, do you think, Geoff, if, coming presumably out here, R.J. Barrett is our leader? What does that think for you?
I feel like that doesn't resonate that much. I mean, like, being a second-year player and, like, really, he really hasn't cemented himself in the NBA yet.
Facts.
So you can't really get many people to follow you, if you really don't have the stats to prove it, or, you don't show those traits all the time, So I feel like maybe with time he could become that leader, but right now, I don't think so. I think it's going to be hard to convince people that.
Yeah. And you know what? It's all going to happen in time. I mean, we still got to see what Julius Randle's going to do, whether he still be at the team by the trade deadline. We got to see if Kevin Knox is a bust or not. I mean, we've seen, real sporadic activity from him pretty much. So what I look for in these next couple games is I'm just really looking to see who is going to be a consistent leader and who's going to give the production for the Knicks. Because from what I've seen in the Nets, any one person on that team can really go and help. I mean, when you got DeAndre Jordan, who understands his role, and you have, Spencer Dinwiddie, who's coming in, a healthy Karis LeVert, who could come and drop buckets even when Kevin Durant goes out. I really see Brooklyn as such a complete team, and what we really questioned was how their bench would show up. So from what you've seen, from your team, how do you feel like the bench is going to be, and how do you think the supporting cast for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving looks right now?
Well, truthfully, in the past couple of years, the Nets have always had one of the best benches. So, with the fact that KD and Kyrie are playing now, I feel like that second and third unit, it pushes the starters we had last year into that second and third unit. So now, your rotation is like 12 guys deep almost, like
Facts.
And it's like it's gonna be hard to stop that, because most of the time, you bring a bench in, you got maybe one or two guys that could be on a starting five on an NBA team. From the Nets, you got maybe three guys that could start on, any team in the NBA. So I feel like that is going to really change a lot, because when KD and Kyrie are coming off, you still need that scoring, to keep pace, and I feel like with the players on the bench, like definitely Karras. Karras is the dog.
Oh, yeah.
Karras is the dog.
And I tell you what, with the dogs that the Brooklyn Nets have, we're going to see that they're going to cover a lot of lines this year. And for a lot of people that don't know, this guy Geoff is the parlay god, man. I mean, he had a big win today where he wound up picking up, I think it was like a $300 hit off $1, right?
Parlay.
Yeah, look at that, man.
Parlay today.
Something light. So, when you're going into these, these parlays or like a big sports day, Geoff, what are some of the things that you look for when you're trying to create your parlay so that you can get these big cash outs?
Honestly, I just look at like the odds and stuff, and I just think to myself, do I really think that's doable, or do I think this person can achieve that goal?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's a long shot. Like you gotta take a risk. Take a chance. If you don't take a chance, you ain't gonna win nothing.
Right. Gotta be in it to win it, right?
Yeah, you do.
Now, I guess out of all the different sports that we have with basketball, baseball, football, what sport do you feel like for you is the hardest to bet on, and why would you say that?
I would say baseball. I don't know, just because like the amount of runs that could be scored in an inning, like baseball is really unpredictable. It's a very unpredictable sport.
Mm-hmm.
And just I don't know too much about some of the newer guys. So, and there's so many statistics that go into baseball, like
for sure.
You got this lefty up against this guy, and this guy's hitting righties with this average. So it's like, no, basketball, it's just like, all right, this guy scores on this basket,
Mm-hmm.
But baseball is like so much harder. So I definitely feel like baseball, I kind of stray away from baseball a little bit. Sometimes I'll dibble dabble, but most of the time, nah. Especially because my Mets suck, so I can't really bet on them.
I know.
For now, they suck.
So
we're on the come up.
Yeah. We're on the come up.
Talk that
like
talk.
Like the Nets. We coming up this year.
Big facts. And I think that, one of the things that I really enjoyed doing with you over the summer times, and, especially even when we were during the winter time where we would go to some Devils games, or we definitely go to Mets games and go into different sporting events. That's something that we really enjoyed. So how do you feel like it's been as a fan, going through this pandemic, of not being able to see your favorite team in the Nets, who are now good to watch now, where you can't go to the Barclays? How has that been as being a fan, not being able to go watch them?
Honestly, it's hurting me right now, because like I'm watching these Nets games, and like I know the tickets are gonna be pricey, but I'm like, I don't know, man. It's like a once in a lifetime kind of thing, seeing this team play. No. So I really wish I could go see a game right now.
Yeah, and I guess like with the way the landscape is, we've seen that a lot of these indoor sports have been reluctant towards having fans. And, I guess from your standpoint as somebody that is looking to hopefully get back into the stadium soon, how far away do you think we are from having fans in the stands, Geoff?
In this region, I think we're pretty far. I think we're further behind many other states, just based off the sheer size of the amount of people that we have in this area and how condensed we are. Mm-hmm. So I think that plays a big factor into it. And I don't think they're going to open everything up for the sports in New York and stuff like that, and until they're almost ready, until vaccines are out and they have a plan in place, because I just don't think we're gonna jeopardize people like that and take that chance.
Yeah, and it's always good to be safe than sorry. And we got to be appreciative of the fact that we even have sports to watch, even though they're not in the stands. I mean, I remember the days where, there was no basketball, there was no baseball, and then we had to watch Korean baseball,
That was some rough months.
Rough times, man. So, just to have sports back, I'm 100% appreciative of, man. But, one of the things that Geoffrey is big and huge on, and we share a very good thing with too, is we are huge connoisseurs of good beer, right? Yes. So when you walk into the liquor store, Geoffrey, you walk into the beer store, how do you decide which 6-pack you're going to pick? And, what do you look for in a beer when you're looking to get one?
I'm a big fan of IPAs, so I kind of look for an IPA. It doesn't really matter, what type of IPA. I try a little bit of everything, like the fruity IPAs, the double IPAs, the real, bitter stuff. It ranges, honestly, and I just try to something different every single time. I have my favorites, but at the same time, I recently discovered a new liquor store, so they got a little selection, so I try to pick out something new every time.
Yeah, and I think that's good too, because you have a lot of people, Geoff, that like to just do the same shit all the time, drink the same shit all the time, and that just can't be me. I'm somebody that like to have different stuff, like you say, try different things, and that's why I feel like every time we come to your house, we're always trying to pick a different 6-pack. Yeah. So when you came, we have K Sam who says "Flying Dog, Raging Bitch." That's a good one.
Yes, that's one of my favorites.
That is a really good one. Also, we have shout out to my boy Josh Williams, who's here on our Instagram live stream as well. Sam Joshi on our Facebook Live. Jennifer Newman on our Facebook Live. We have Stephen Hurst. He said, "Fuck you, Barry." He said, "Fuck yeah, Barry. I love you, miss you, homie. I miss you too, man. I tell you what, I feel like I'm so full, and I have the best fans and the best friends in the world, man. So, Geoff, just if you could tell the people out here that don't know, just what does it mean to be able to, how could I say, just play games with me every day like we do, and just have the friendship that we've shared over these past past decades, we can say now, man.
Oh man, be
damn, y'all old. Y'all old.
Oh man,
right.
We ain't that old. 30's the new 20, all right?
Facts.
Nah, but it's always a good time with B, man. B's the energy guy out of our whole group, so. If any one of us is down, B's that one that, come on, guys, he's always putting that jolt in our group. So, I definitely look forward to gaming with B. Warzone's a fun time.
Oh, my gosh. We have so much fun playing. And, I'll just, say, too, that, Geoff has been somebody that's always been a person of reason. So, a lot of times where, you're down or something, I can always count on Geoff to be there for me and kind of talk me off the ledge when I need. And then also just to be funny, man. I think that sometimes we're in a spot where we don't even want to tell our friends what's going on or how we're feeling. And I just feel like Geoff's one of those people that just always knows when I need a jolt, as he says. He's able to give that for me, and that's just so important, man. And I value Geoff as one of my really good friends and somebody that's been there from the beginning, bro. And I just remember even at the beginning, we used to walk home from school at TJ, and all of us would just walk home together. And when we got to the end, me and Geoff were the last ones. We're like, oh shit, you live there, I live here, and it was just cool ever since then, man. So, what's been one of your most favorite moments that we've had, over these past couple of years, if you had to pick one?
Oh man, there's so many.
He said there's so many.
That's hard, B. I can't even think one on the spot.
Right?
I have to say, definitely some of the Warzone moments recently.
Oh yeah,
definitely been some fun times.
Oh yeah, man. Geoffrey was with me yesterday, and we actually had a funny moment where I was playing. Doc G's in the background. She's laughing her ass off already. But we had a funny situation where I'm on the stream on Twitch, and I got bodied. Somebody killed me. I had no business losing this gun battle. And I was so tight, I just put my hands up and I went back, and my whole chair broke. You know what I'm saying? And it broke. It broke. And I think the funniest thing that they said is that, you know, I just laid there. You know, I had nothing else to do. I just laid there.
It was just one of those moments like, damn, did that really happen? Like, you just processing it in your head, like, damn.
Not only did I get bodied, but my whole chair is broke. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, fast forward to today. One of my friends, Ishabod Crane, winds up clipping it on Twitch, and now we're at over 700 views on me falling out of the
viral
chair for the wrong reasons, man. But nah, like I said, he even says it with the Warzone. It's just we just have such a fun time, you know, playing and sharing the same space together. And I feel like, you know, video games have kind of like really heightened up over this pandemic for sure, Geoff. So like, do you remember the first time where, you know, we kind of got put on quarantine and how many people were online, man?
So, oh man, it was like, it was crazy because like every day you were like signing on Xbox and all the servers were like just crashing. Everything was just slow. Like it was crazy because like I don't think I ever like I played video games for a while now. And, like I've never seen that amount of traffic on Xbox like before ever. Like, you know, like it was like every day like type of thing. So it was
pandemic.
Yeah. It was definitely difficult for the people that, you know, are regulars, you know, and the people that were just playing just because they had the time. So kind of made it a little bit more frustrating. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we had a lot more. We had a lot of people asking for reps, and especially when you're trying to get high quality reps, you know, it's hard for us to weed through who actually deserves to play and who doesn't, which could be fun, you know. But you know, we gotta lock the party sometimes. You know, it may feel like the Beatles, but it's hilarious. Say said Geoff made the show. He said, and then Peter said, that's a fact. So
that's a big fact.
You know, big Fendi. So I think what we got to do, Geoff, is we got to get into this beer review before anything. So can you talk about, you know, this beer that you decided to bring to my house and you know how you got this?
I'm gonna do something different. I know. Usually you supply the beer, but I brought my own beer.
Oh!
The once a year Mad Elf here.
Okay. He brought out the Mad Elf. Yo, for everybody, can you tell people about what this is, Geoff, and why this is so dope?
So pretty much like this beer is brewed in PA, and it's only brewed once a year. So it's a Christmas time beer. Shout out to my boy Tyree. He's actually the last one that
Tyrus.
gave me one. He supplied us with some, and I found the spot in Jersey that has them. So it's pretty cool, you know.
All right, so hey, let's see if we can. Yeah, let's see. Does anybody have a bottle? I think I got one in my pocket.
Oh,
see
nice,
that? Come on, man. See, when you're a real drink champ, guys, you gotta have your bottle opener on the key. All right, come on, real drink champs out here. All right, but we're gonna have to put this into a cup here, Geoff, and let's review this. All right.
So we doing two. Two beers.
Yeah, we're gonna do two beer reviews here. So you want to pour yours up there?
Yes.
All right. See, I tell you what, this show is constantly progressing. We have Kevin Rosa. Shout out to Boza. Mega listening vibes. But Kevin Rosa here. We got Mike Greer on our Instagram. Facebook. We got Pete. He said, Barry, that's cap. Because when we had beers at my crib and that was nowhere to be found. Oh, so he won.
Pete, I'll come through with some beers. I got you.
All right, so he's gonna come through with the mat. We gotta give Pete a good housewarming with some good beers. So maybe if this Mad Elf is good, maybe we'll bring some over
Pete,
too.
you probably like this Mad Elf. It's like it's brewed with honey and cherry, so it's not like bitter. It's a little sweet, so it's a little mix of both.
All right, well hey. Let's try this shit out, Geoff.
Sir, cheers.
Here we go.
Ah, the Mad
tell you what, Geoff.
That shit's good.
It is, man. You barely can tell that you're drinking really good alcohol, right? I mean,
we didn't even talk about the alcohol percentage. It's 11%.
11%, guys. If you don't have your diapers on, go put them on because I tell you what, this beer is fire, man. You gotta put your big boy pants on for this one.
Facts.
If you gave this a 1 out of 10, Geoff, especially it being a once in a year beer, what would you give this, bro?
I definitely have to go for the 9.
Oh yeah, solid 9. I think for me personally, let me get this one more try.
The Mad Elf.
What you thinking?
Man, honestly, bro, I'm gonna give this a 10, bro.
10?
Because
yeah, he gave it the perfect
Get
score.
you where you want to go
I'm gonna give it a 10, man. I'm gonna tell you why. Let me tell you why, Geoffris. This Mad Elf is like you just don't tell that it's 11% when you're drinking it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of times when you have heavier beers like that, it can become hard to drink.
It slaps you.
Yeah, I know Gaven, shout out to him, he bought a great beer, I think it's Weybacher or something last time.
Oh, Weybacher. I had that. I told you I had that last time.
And
it was alright. It was alright. But I see what you're saying, like the aftertaste.
Yeah, like that aftertaste of that one kind of might have strayed you away from getting another one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But with this Mad Elf, it's just really, really smooth, yo.
Yep.
Yeah, Pete even says there's no crazy aftertaste.
Nah.
Pete.
Nah, Pete. He took another sip.
No crazy aftertaste, my boy. No crazy aftertaste, man. Try to tell you, man, for real. But before we go on to this last one, can you tell us a little bit about this beer, Geoff, that we're about to try here?
All right, so this is the Ithica Flower Power.
Okay.
This is an IPA. I actually never had this one before.
Really?
So we're gonna try it out and see how it is.
Hey, man. What'd you say before? You gotta try
something different, man.
Try it on, man.
Something different.
So here we go. We're gonna try this Flower Power. You got yours over to the right, Geoff.
Yes, sir. Crack this open.
For everybody out there, put in some of your favorite beers too. If you have any beers that you really like that you think we should try on the show, put them in the chat and we'll think about it. All right.
All right. We got poured up here.
All right, I'm a thug, so I'm gonna go out of the cup, man. But here we go. Cheers up, guys. Let's see how this beer is here. All right.
Glug 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 glug. Flower Power, groovy, man.
It's not bad.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's not what.
This really reminds me like when what was that bar in Brooklyn we used to go to? Remember I told you Soda Bar.
Soda Bar, yeah.
This reminds me of one of those beers that they used to have at Soda Bar where it's like organic or it has that hoppy taste to it, right?
It has that hoppy, but like the aftertaste isn't really like bitter.
Yeah.
The bitterness is kind of light on it. You know?
Yeah. I tell you what, we have Tyree said, Sip of Sunshine, goated beer, Pops, voiceover is classic. So, hey, as always, everybody loves it. And we got Savion who said Soda Bar. He know about Soda Bar, man. Hey, that's within walking distance of the Barclays Center, right?
Hey, real Brooklyn heads know that.
Hey, and I think he from Red Hookers or Brownsville or somewhere. But, once again, Geoff, thank you for coming here on the show, man.
Talk that talk, Geoff.
Hell yeah, man. This is my boy, man. Like I said, it's been a long time coming, guys, and just to have Geoff here on the show. We got Kevin Rose, who he says it perfectly. Happy vibes, man. I mean, how else can I feel on Christmas when I got my best friend here, I got all my family here. I feel.
We catching the dub tonight?
Oh yeah. Are we gonna get a Warzone dub tonight?
I already got one Christmas vibe, so I'm trying to get another.
Ooh, hey, we stay hungry out here. We're always trying to get dubs, but in closing, Geoff, I know especially during this holiday time, a lot of us, we're on vacation, or from jobs, or we're having that relaxation time, and we have a lot of that time before we get into this new year. And with the new year coming up, it's 2021. And a lot of people they're saying that they're happy that 2020 is over, right? So I think, the question I have for you going into 2021, is there any kind of New Year's resolutions that you have or anything that you want to do in this next year that you didn't get a chance to this year?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to travel a little bit this year. I want to go to California, so I definitely want to see if, some of the COVID situation starts dying down, I would like to venture out west because I've never been out there. So that's definitely one of my goals.
Okay, that's dope, man. And I think that, especially for me, one of the goals that I really have, Geoff, is, I just want to really blow this shit up, man. I think that, with us closing in on 10,000 downloads, closing in on 100 episodes, I just really want to take this to the next level. I want to continue to merchandise. I want to continue to have new followers, new friends, new family that come in and tune into the show. And I just want to continue to, give the best version of this show that I can, man. And, having you on the show enables me to do that, bro, because, for a lot of people that know me, you're my best friend, my right-hand man. So, for people that don't know me, I hope that you get a better understanding of me through this episode because, this guy is an extension of myself, and, I'll do anything for this guy, man. And it's very likewise, man. That's that mentality that we've had, over these years. And, the one thing that I can tell everybody out there, at least in my closing thing that I want to say is, just really value your friends, man. And I say that to say that sometimes we get so overwhelmed with the things that are happening on in our life that sometimes it may, pass us in showing that appreciation for the people that support us the most. And, that's very real because a lot of us have our own lives that we have to deal with. But I think it's just very important that for those people that are in your life that are supporting you, or those people that, mean a lot to you or have value, don't be afraid to tell them what they mean to you, all right? Don't be afraid to tell them, say, hey, I tell you what, this is my guy. I have no problem coming with him anywhere, and, this is one of my best friends for life. And I think that especially for those viewers out there and my friends that have friends out there that maybe they haven't talked to in a while or, they've lost contact with, don't be afraid to hit up your friends because I tell you what, the value that Geoff has had as a friend to me and to a brother, it's really empowered my life. It enabled me to do a lot of things that maybe I don't think I could have ever did without his support, man. So, again, for those people out there that mean a lot to you and that have that influence on you positively, I say that positively, keep them in your life and definitely show them that they're valued, man. So, yo, I love you, bro, and you're a brother for life, man, for real. This is the Talk That Talk show. We got to thank our sponsors before we get out, so I know you're going to love this one. You ready? Yeah. Shout out to VW Liquors, located in Wick Plaza, Edison, New Jersey. Let's go, Mets! Let's go, Mets! We always do that for Dave at the end of the show.
Shout out Dave.
I love that shit! I love doing that at the end of the show, man. Yeah. Shout out to Dave, Caroline, Neva, Tim, Crystal Dice, everybody over there that just makes my day happy and a great time. We got our white mom here, Erin Griffin Valeri. Shout out to Erin.
What up, Erin?
We got Geoff on the show. Erin, come on now. What's up? Shout out to 91s.com. They got the best acid wash apparel in the game. Shout out to my boy Savion Gaynor over at Skydive Socks. He's putting out incredibly dope shit. Please check him out. Also want to give a shout out to my boy Angelo Crognali over at 13 and a Half Clothing Company. He's killing the game. It means a lot to have people like him on board as well, too. Shout out to Air We Are. Best air conditioning and heating needs that you could ever need here in the South Side or in New Jersey. Hit them up, and they'll take you over there, right? So, and finally also, want to give a big shout out to my boy Timmy Hugel over at Ink Parlor. We got the OG9s dropping next week. Ooh. Please get in contact with me. See what you can do. We got him.
Get them while they hot.
I'm telling you, man.
Get them while they hot.
Because they selling out. I'm telling you, bro. It meant so much to see everybody in their red Christmas sweaters here. My man Geoff, he's rocking the super dope OG8. I think it's the OG7.
OG7.
I get them confused. That's how many drops we've had, man. Then also want to give a shout out to Maria and Joe Snow over at New York Life, helping people to get their financial freedom every single day. They'll help you put you on a path to where you need to go, man. So, this is the Talk That Talk show. Every Friday, 8:30, You know the vibes.
Be there.
Know the vibes.
And no, and no days off, man. I mean, here we are, episode 84, 85 on Christmas. You thought we weren't coming, here we are, all right? And I promise you, we'll still be here next week too. So again, thank you to Geoff Ferrell for coming on the show. Like I said, one of my huge best friends out there, my brother, my ace in the hole. Love this guy like he is family. I love him to death, man. And
Thank you for having me on, dude.
nah, for real,
Appreciate
man.
it,
This is like I said, man. That's one of my favorite episodes to ever do, and it means the world to me. Like, we talk about legacy and leaving things behind, for the future generations, for future people that to look back on. And I truly can think that this won't be your last time on the show.
No,
and
definitely not.
And you know what? We made history,
when
baby.
the Nets win the championship.
Oh!
You heard it.
So we heard it now, guys. When the Nets win the championship, this guy is gonna have to come here on the show. And if the Nets win the championship, maybe, just maybe, I'll wear a Brooklyn Nets song. Maybe, just maybe. Cause I tell you what. If the Knicks won, this guy maybe would wear a Knicks shirt too. That's how.
Probably not.
Oh, fuck you, man.
Probably not.
Oh no, this is the Talk That Talk show. I'm out of here. This is my boy Geoff, my brother. I love you all, and I'll see you next week. All right.
Say that.
Geoff, man. Woo! Look at